himself a little cackle over here.
We had a cackle earlier today.
I mean,
it wasn't good.
Yeah, he got subbed out real quick. 0 and 4 on the split is Cacao. Unfortunate. Orianna is going to be banned here.
Lex Orianna taken away. Lava is one of the best Zoes we have in the LCK, and someone is going to play it this game, you'd have to think. But they don't want to first pick it, and they actually first pick away the Ezreal. Really interesting. It is a performing champion for Sangyoon and Bray, but not normally a contested first pick in a draft. Remember, this is over Trundle.
Yeah. Someone looked good on it, but maybe he's got something else in store. You'll see that Kingzone also a lot of thought into their next picks. Maybe just go ahead and pick up the Varus. Not going to have the Tahm Kench this time around, and it got lasered down by Vel'Koz multiple times in the last game.
Morgana this early could be considered, but also could be turned upon. There's a lot of counter picks for the Morgana in lane. I just think it's surprising to see something like a big duo of picks in the first round be taken here. The Trundle, for example, still open. And actually, this would be Gragas over Trundle as priority for Peanuts. So I guess Scrim results are saying that this duo of picks is the must pick for Kingzone.
I mean, Peanut had a lot of fantastic engages where his casts were on point and he looked really good.
This would be a confidence pick to take. The compositional answer of Gragas, say, screw that, I'm just going to play Kindred anyway. Seeing if they want to do this. Hanwha Life, SeongHwan is our most played Kindred player.
Nah.
Makes a lot more sense to go back to Trundling.
We got to keep that troll going.
Will there be a mid laner taking the first round? You wonder for Hanwha Life. That would allow them to ban more supports if Kingzone try to match the mid laner. As Kingzone have that last pick here. And actually they're going to pick away the Braum we alluded to. How far are we from Taric is kind of the interesting question I have for Gorilla. They don't seem too worried about the Morgana. Unsealed Spellbook, Braum most likely coming through from Key.
Swain left available. Haven't seen him at all tonight, actually. Through a series of bans and also just not being picked up.
This would be giving away 2 more supports. So they want to punish. Going to another lane and banning is usually what you want to do. So let's see what happens, see if it will be the Zoe taken. BDD, one of our best Zoe players. Zoe nerfed on 814. The reliability of especially skirmishing Zoe after the more Sparkles nerf can be really big around level 12, 13, and usually that's when the Zoe has Ludens and just wins the game on one item. Talon gonna be banned because Lava is a known Talon player, but Talon took such a strong nerf on this patch. It's a bit surprising to see it still be banned.
I guess they feel like he's still a bit oppressive against stuff like the Zoe, as well as the Varus. If he doesn't have the protection of a Tahm Kench or a Braum, decide they need to take that away. But now more support bans are going to start rolling in. The Morgana is another one that's being targeted here. And another aggressive mid laner taken away.
So in terms of supports, we see Alistar as a melee support that Gorilla has at times played this season. After that, Pyke could be considered, I guess. Blitzcrank, of course, won a game on, but that was comped around. Could be range support, but does feel like Kingzone are a fallback melee support team. The Alistar is the only one of real mention available. Will they just go for it? It is Varus Alistar, so a lot of pick through the bot lane provided for Kingzone.
They're hovering it for now. Seems like the obvious choice for Gorilla here. And it looks like it will come through, but now what are they going to pick into the Zoe this time as a counter? They knew they were going up against Ryze when they picked the Vel'Koz. What's it going to be?
I actually want to know what the top laner will be blind, because Jace is open, but Gnar is open too. But Jace beats Gnar, so how's Lindarang's Jace is the question I have. You might think, oh, but it's Rascal, not Khan. But one of the most played in the entirety of his match history is going to be that Jace, and they go for Camille anyway. They get the Galio-Camille duo in the second round to Hanwha Life, picking to actually engage the team fights and just Goomba stomp Zoe Varus, who are very immobile if they are initiated upon.
I mean, you can see the flow through the draft, right? All those kind of protection supports, some engaged supports. Morgana, Tahm Kench taken away. They picked the Braum. There's not going to be that much protection against this. Not the most damage in the world from the side of Hanwha Life, but they definitely do have that 5v5 wombo combo.
The cool thing is, though, that in the second round, their draft doesn't get punished by last pick, because Rascal's sitting there with counter pick on top. And if you consider a case where they took Gnar, as we mentioned, Jace could come out, they take Jace, there's other answers there. Instead, Hanwha Life make their composition have an identity with their two solo lanes. Usually the solo lanes can't center a draft, but when they're Camille Galio and it's Hextech Ultimatum and Galio Ultimate, suddenly there's huge threat on Kingzone's backline out of nowhere. The Galio, a known mid lane pick into the Zoe, because the damage reduction means you can't have burst threat onto the Galio. So I appreciate that Hanwha Life were able to turn the tables in the second round, but Kingzone do have a lot of damage. They do have a scaling matchup for the Gangplank. But if Lindarang gets going with SeongHwan again, the Galio starts joining. It could just be Kingzone 2-0'd by Hanwha Life.
Definitely could happen, especially if the tide of the game starts to go in favor of Hanwha and they get favorable engages. But again, this composition into a decent amount of disengage when you have Gorilla on Alistar and Peanut on the Gragas. If they can effectively get that wombo combo away from their carries and try to fight front to back with the amount of damage they have. Again, I would love to see Peanut on tank Gragas this time around. I don't think they really need that Runic Echoes with the amount of damage they have on their side.
Not sure Peanut will agree. Can be inflexible in his builds, and also add a bit more burst to Zoe and Varus. Maybe get the kills and Snowball that isn't available from Cinderhawk.
Definitely feels that way. And guys, I got the word that the game is ready. The countdown has just about started here, so go out and tell your friends we might have 2 upsets today. If Hanwha Life could take game number 2, or will it be tied up? Let's find out in game number 2. Go, guys, jumping into game number 2, Hanwha Life versus Kingzone.
Show us the man we want to see. The man who's a dancing troll in a bush. Exactly the SeongHwan we know enacted in this game. We're not watching him right now, but I believe he's still dancing that brush at top.
He's still in the brush, which means he's dancing in the brush.
I feel like the least mouse clicks is definitely SeongHwan, because so often he is AFK in a brush in recent memory, especially in the second round robin, where he's had so much fun trundling his way to victory and doesn't even have to play Trundle to do it. SeongHwan moving down to bot side after spotting on the top side.
Gotta think about which lanes you would want to focus on. You may have thought in game number 1 he wouldn't go near the Gnar, but...
Super Leash coming out here. Sorry to cut you off, but they're trying to give SeongHwan a really nice leash here. We don't see Super Leash almost ever in summer season. Gets all the little raptors and get a hard leash on his red. This is the sort of thing that Peanut's going to be surprised by. It won't get him a fast level 3 necessarily, but it does mean that when he starts fighting, he's going to have a lot of camps behind him.
It means that he can try to double scuttle him pretty fast too, if he wanted to.
You definitely have to hug the top side scuttle if you want it, otherwise the Trundle's going to be there real quick. Gets on top of the scuttle with it spawning at 2 minutes, so the Super Leash gets him first position on the scuttle. That means that when Peanut goes to take another camp, he actually is going to be behind in terms of tempo. The Trundle can get there much earlier than expected. Usually, the meta right now is for Trundle to take 3 small raptors, then actually go to take the scuttle, but instead gets the entire camp. Cool little change by Hanwha Life.
You could see how he was thinking of going through the mid lane, showing himself to the Zoe, but he wanted to go unseen. Is going to be spotted on a ward anyway. That's the way the timing works out. And as we predicted, goes straight into taking the second scuttle. So again, this is going to give vision on both sides. This is going to make SeongHwan's jungle even stronger. I mentioned, where is he going to go and look for ganks? The top side could be nice if it's pushed in. Right now is not the time, but also the bottom side, the Varus doesn't have that protection we were talking about. And even in the mid lane, although BDD does have the cleanse this time, we'll see if they can get on top of the zone.
And Kingzone don't need another introduction to take the perfect timing rune this game. Been falling out of favor recently, but you see Camille Galio strap on your stopwatch for 8 minutes into the game and potentially turning around the Goomba Stomp comp, as we love to call it, with the Hextech Ultimatum into the Heroes entrance. Gonna be another game of the on-hit Varus, so a lot of Comet Varus recently, but against the Ezreal, just going the on-hit build. Someone has to kill the Galio in the front line. I almost said keel.
Someone has to kill the
Well,
Galio.
if the Galio is going to keel over and be killed, you need to be able to kill him, so Rageblade Blade the Ruin King Varus is going to be the way. You're still laughing about me saying keel.
It's been a day. We've had a day out here. It's been fun.
And it's not even necessarily the end of it. Kingzone could definitely force a game number 6 of the day. We started the day at 180 games of LCK already being played. For reference, the NA and EU LCS are at 60, so we've had a lot of League of Legends, and yet we still see new stuff. We have new picks. There's a lot to be excited about, and the drama is basically guaranteed to extend all the way to the final match day.
Doesn't that mean that you're doing triple the work as some of the people over in the other regions?
No, much more. They don't actually cast
They don't
all
do
the
all the
games.
games?
No.
Yeah. Interesting.
I love my job. What can I say?
Carrying League of Legends as we speak. I'm trying to do my part. Only 2 days a week over here for me. Was 3 at times. We've had a accelerated summer.
Enjoyed every moment of the Valdez, and I'm hoping this one's going to be another high-action one. It's kind of hard for Galio Camille games not to be, but always hoping we're going to see some real fiery stuff. Games have been trending longer, a lot of 40-minute epics so far this week on patch 8.14. Haven't felt the difference in 8.14 too much. Korean team still loving the flag. Oh, here we go.
Boy. In a lot of trouble here. Is it enough damage, though, is the question. Is the no answer. Peanut going to be pillared as well, and he doesn't have his flash. They're going to turn this around. First blood again to SeongHwan, who's there for the counter.
And how cute that the Trundle pillar actually gives him something to hookshot stun off. Beautiful stuff there. They responded very quickly and understood, hey, Peanut's got nowhere to go. There's no chance he can escape. Very nice turnaround by Hanwha Life.
We've seen so many games and teams baited in trying to kill a Galio. Usually it happens after he's really tanky. This time it happens early on in the game. He burns his flash to try to kill him. It looks like a done deal, but the positioning from SeongHwan and the follow-up with the TP is enough to get the kill.
They don't have enough damage. He's at 450 health, and then Trundle pillar into the Camille hookshot. Very nicely done. SeongHwan picks up the kill. He's going to have a really early Cinderhulk, and there's a troll problem on the top side as well.
Oh boy, gets stunned up too. Hextech Ultimatum. This should be a dead Rascal. Is he going to flash? Yes, he will actually. Looking to turn it around. I actually called it too early.
They're baiting for
Rascal
Peanut.
Able to 1v2 effectively. Peanut coming in here, unspotted, but seems like they know about this. Going to move in together. And in fact, Peanut is level 4, so not able to do much. SeongHwan and Lindarang will take back the river.
Yeah, 2 levels under the Trundle, who's going for his 3-0 on the Scuttle Crab. We do use the football analogies for that one. I guess we could use tennis and say 3 love.
Yeah, well.
It'd be 45.
Yeah, 45
it'd be 40 love, not 45.
Really?
It's 15, 30, 40.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, will the Galio die this time? Maybe with the help of a cow, this can happen. Looks like Lava's in a lot more trouble, and he is going to go down. Nice block from Peanut that time. Wasn't expecting them in his jungle.
Good pathing from Peanut, still trying to make aggression happen. This is what he does on the Zac. It's cool to see it on the Gragas as well. He may fall behind, but he doesn't allow it to disrupt his momentum. Still tries to play the counter jungle. Freitas teleports in, as they're looking for a red buff steal here.
This time Key in an awkward spot is going to be stunned up by the Alistair, is going to flash even though the Ignite was ticking. Couple of mistakes, but a fantastic pillar. Doesn't look like they want to go in on this one though, because BDD is also coming in. Trying to get the damage. They weren't expecting Zoe to show up, and actually now they will just back off a couple of flashes once again, and Kingzone makes something happen.
They definitely are trying to make things happen before the hero's entrance or the Hextech Ultimatum from a teleport and actually impact the map. Rascal walking up, he has a stopwatch, so he's feeling safe enough. Just came off cooldown. Lava says, let's turret dive, Rascal.
Rascal says, I want none of that.
Their English is getting better.
I know.
We could put them on the analyst desk soon.
need an analyst desk first.
Hey, whatever. We'll work it out. Speaking of working it out, Peanut's still level 4 when this play starts. BDD had gotten really deep trying to make this play happen. They trust their damage. This time, they're pretty comfortable that Trundle's not going to be there, and they're right.
Good block by Peanut, too. Dodges the stun, the taunt, I should say. Gets him out alive and gets him so much coverage in the red side jungle, and I think Hanwha just didn't expect everyone to rotate that fast afterwards. It's a good series of plays by Kingzone.
Lindarang's been empowered to play very aggressively to the tune of a 20 CS lead. 10 minutes in the game. Some pretty quick items. Klepto Gangplank, in case you guys are wondering, we've had Resolve Tree a couple of times in recent memory. One of the stopwatch, I imagine that was one of the reasons to go that way. And also, the Klepto has been pretty common against the Camille. Because if she's not hook-shotting you, you're getting free Qs every time she hits the minion wave.
That means free gold, even if you're down 20 CS at 9.5 minutes. Speaking about CS, 4-0, 4-0 in the Scuttle Crabs as someone picks up another one.
It's been something that's been donated to Kingzone. They've had the Trundle a couple of times. Kingzone have been happy to leave it open, and they've taken the Gragas as higher priority multiple times.
You see the ward ping actually where the two of them were, but there's actually no ward. Rascal having a lot of trouble up here, actually, now that the lane is pushing. The lane is pushing.
How's Wayne doing?
Seems like he's pushing.
Oh.
I'm not sure what that means about him and his child, but it's kind of an interesting situation for Wayne.
Rascal's just doing his best to keep it competitive in the top side. Doesn't feel great to be 20 CS down, as who's ganking who is an evolving question in mid.
Seems like he didn't have Trouble Bubble available. Looking here for Lava, who has his flash available. As things have slowed down, Hanwha looked like they were going to go on the runaway train once again after SeongHwan picked up the first kill, but definitely a little bit of modesty forced back into their play.
Despite all the bans to bot side, praying Gorilla, Varus Alistair, and a decent CS lead. And BDD has also been able to put together this 20 CS lead, so the CS leads here for Kingzone outside of top are relevant. Hanwha Life have definitely gone for the combo approach by taking the Camille Galio in the second round rather than looking for a harder counter pick. Syndra, for example, something Lava has got big leads against Zoe in matchups before, but this time going for the Galio. Still waiting for that first ultimate. No Hero's entrance plays so far, and Kingzone have good map control on the bot side, which will make the Galio very early spotted if he actually does try to make a play downfall.
Yeah, they've been really focused on getting those wards over there, the control wards, to make sure that they could spot him coming in. Gorilla seems to know that Key is here.
I believe they're trading visions, makes sense.
Things are, yeah, slowly turning in Rascal's favor, it looks like. Although the CS doesn't really tell the same story. SeongHwan wants to 5-0 him.
Come on, going for that big 5-0.
Peanut doesn't have Smite, so he can't even try to contest it there. And SeongHwan now is going to be 5-0 in Scuttle Crabs ahead of Peanut.
Soon, if you try to contest too hard, we will see that Hero's entrance play, so Gragas trying to be pretty careful. Duration on that taunt is a long time, so the magic resist gonna be fine there. As free damage onto Peanut.
The red smite, he tries to get him up against the wall, and it's a surprising amount of damage. The stopwatch has to come in, but should be. Oh no, the smite is there rather than flash. SeongHwan now is going to get engaged on Gorilla, and this is going all wrong for Hanwha Life. They went a little bit too deep. He's not going to be able to dodge this sleepy trouble bubble, and there you go, BDD picks up the follow-up kill, 2-0 for him.
Tried to predict with the very quick taunt, but Peanut got the flash off, and that meant he was in no man's land. Galio trying to get away, so that's a lot of momentum going the way of Kingzone. They're also going to load into the mid lane with their Varus and push, and Sangyoon may have the TP, but things definitely on fire for Hanwha Life.
Yeah, Lindarang wants to try to make something happen on the top side, try to trade back in terms of gold, but there's the first blood turret given over to Zoe too, so now BDD is going to be super fed.
Gonna watch the replay here. SeongHwan gets baited by how much damage he does to Gragas for free. Right at the end, it looks inevitable. The Peanut will go down, first to the Q, and then just taunt him instantly. But he's 0.2 seconds too early. Flashes over, doesn't seem to have the cooldown on the Q, and has to ult away. It's just really ugly stuff from Lava and Hanwha Life. They over-pursue, and the cost is pretty significant as Kingzone get a lot of gold onto their members.
You also notice that Gorilla got the first rotation, right? It was on their side of the map. He was the one running first. He not able to get there on time. Gorilla was able to flash, engage, and secure the kill on the SeongHwan, who had gone a little bit too far, so definitely helping out in the roam.
Crash that mid lane turret. Suddenly the Galio is going to be sighted from much further away. The Galio is predictable. Zoe Varus poke sounds very, very obnoxious. And that's not even Varus indexing into a poke build. It's not Comet Varus. It's a Varus build that can kill the Galio if he chooses the wrong spot. So Kingzone in a really comfortable position. Rascals felt the brunt of the beating up on the side of Hanwha Life. He's been beaten up in the top side, but now has a couple assists and is stabilizing in terms of itemization. Only one single stopwatch used. That was Peanuts in the previous fight. And if Kingzone rotate around, who's to say they can't pick up a 3-turret-to-0 lead, like we've seen so many teams today be able to weed?
Peanut finally got his first scuttle at about 14 minutes and 50 seconds, so nice little thing for him as he's been bullied a little bit early on, but now is able to come back. The Ocean Drake going to be taken out here by Kingzone. Hanwha Life thinking about going in here. The Chain of Corruption is going to land onto SeongHwan, but they just back away.
Kingzone just want to make this a pretty predictable pick comp from here. They have good siege. They also have the ability to put down control wards, catch anyone in rotation with Varus, ult, or Zoe Trouble Bubble. And Peanut and Gorilla can also help on the pick. So their pick CC is strong. The item timings are coming in very reliably because of their CS lead, specifically in the mid lane. Hanwha Life only have all in because they committed to the Galio Camille. Galio Camille could be so pivotal in this game, but never have we seen their ults be comboed appropriately in the early game. And that means that right now it feels like Hextech, Ultimatum, and Galio might not actually represent a teamfight victory. They might actually be the less than the sum of their parts.
After that wave was cleared, even though you might look to the top side and say, hey, Lindarang's destroying this Gangplank. Gangplank's only 100 gold behind him, even though he's down 42 CS. So don't get your hopes up if you're a Camille player, if you're a Hanwha Life lover here, because it's not that much of a lead. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, BDD is ahead by almost 2,000 gold with a similar CS lead, but also 2 kills. So that's how that Gangplank is working out for them. SeongHwan thinking about the Rift Herald, but there was a ward on it right now, and he's got to be careful about taking risks like that. He's going to go in, though. They do have the Braum up here, and everybody on the side of Kingzone did back recently, especially the bottom lane, so they're going to try for it here.
Trying to find something positive top side. This bot side was already control warded severely to Kingzone's advantage. Turning onto this one, Peanut's going to contest.
Well, he's going to be forced to body slam away. BDD not able to land any damage either. They get the eye and the smite, and now they want the Zoe! Not the Zoe. Peanut's going to go down in the front line. Gorilla forced him. Use his ultimate as well. Is going to get the 4-man pulverized, but it doesn't matter. Going to be locked down by the head flash. And now Key nearly goes down, but it's a 2-0. Key will die in the end to the Ignite, but the Rift Herald also goes to the side of Hanwha.
Outnumbering by Hanwha Life, but it just ended up being so straightforward for them after Peanuts had the conga line 1 by 1 of people trying to disengage, and 2 members go down. They get the Rift Herald. That's the sort of thing that shouldn't have happened this game. Kingzone was so far ahead around their mid laner. Now it might not even matter. Lava's going to take a lot of damage, but have a Rod of Ages on the next back. Finally, they end the laning phase, which is going well for Lindarang, but not to the tune of turret damage. Trinity Force on the next back. They get the right execution on the next hard engage, which they have in almost limitless fashion with this Camille. Maybe Kingzone, well, rude to live the day, but they just got too frisky around the Rift Herald.
Definitely could happen. That TP ward, there were a couple of pings onto it, and I think that's why The observer is looking at it so hard, but it is about to timeout, and so no play will happen on the Varus. Let's take a look at how this fight occurred.
Peanut just slides in with the blast cone, sees it, able to get out, even though there's the possibility to interrupt it. They fight really hard for it, but then you're face-checking Galio. Like, that's the part where it's a bit bogus. They don't have wards in that brush. They walk up, face-check. Turns out there's a lot of CC on the side of Hanwha Life Esports, and while you can understand the blast plant play, the secondary play, not so much.
Yep, gotta let it go, even if you're ahead. Now Lindarang with red buff, and Rascal has to flash away, but it's Camille. He's gonna get stunned up. Barrel is gonna slow him down, but the Hextech ultimatum means that this will be a kill. A solo kill to Lindarang in the top lane.
Doesn't even bother to use the stopwatch. Rascal knows the turret is too far away. Big pickup for Lindarang. Starting to take over this lane, not to the tune of a lot of gold, but the ability to chase down and kill is an important one over the Gangplank. BDD is unfortunately in that scenario as a Zoe, whereas side lanes are misplaying heavily around him, and he's not able to hit them in any significant way. Galio can always turn a side lane play if he actually roams. The Nasus feeling of getting nice stacking on the top side while the rest of the map goes against you. Rascal walks up. He really wants to clear out this minion wave, but one minion wave too far is always the way, and we see it right in front of our eyes.
It's interesting, too, how it's just full health against full health, and Rascal just cannot get near Lindarang anymore. And I think Lindarang knows, especially as the red buff, and he knows he's stronger. Right after backing, he can kill the GP. It was a good read. Works out. Also, no interruption from anyone else on the map. You know, no TP in from anybody, or Gragas being there, which is really fortunate because Lindarang could have had it turned around.
The big mistake from Rascal is that play is perfect if he has his outer turret up. He's greeting for that last bit of push, going back, hitting his item spike, but he doesn't have a turret to disengage to, and guess what? Camille has 20% CDR and infinite chase with the hook shot, so just misread that the top lane texture of the lane had changed because the turret went down, and it's definitely a very fixable error, but in a scenario where they have backs against the wall, not one you want to make.
And it definitely raises questions about whether or not to sub him in. But speaking of which, SeongHwan is going to be knocked down here, has his own stopwatch. Prey going to take a little bit of damage on the right side. There's the hero's entrance. Gorilla able to stopwatch himself as well as Lindarang. It's all about the stopwatches. First one to go down is Peanut. Gorilla getting super low, and Sangyoon able to take him out. But look at all the low health bars on the side. Prey's going 1v3. He wants to get in there. He's still going to be punished, but it's all about BDD now. The triple kill, able to turn it around, gets a fourth one on the backside, and somehow, some way, Kingzone turn it around.
Clean up Zoe. For once, she's not kited away from. For once, she can actually hit the fight, and hit the fight she did. 5-0-3 is BDD now. Goes to push the minion wave at the same time as well. He's having a day out, skipping his way all to a victory for Kingzone DragonX.
5-0-3 feels pretty good right now. Just picked up his two big items. Let's see how the fight occurs once again.
This is where SeongHwan walks up. Galio is actually responding to minions, so can't ult instantly. Takes a long time for SeongHwan to get any sort of assistance, uses his stopwatch, and then goes for the turn. Zoe hits the team fight, and the important thing to talk about here is level 13 Zoe. This is where Zoe was target nerfed because more Sparkles had 60 damage removed at this point in the game. Unsure if it's W or E max, but teamfight reset's still going to happen very easily. When Prey flashes in, you think this is the big mistake, but he knows the consistent damage deal. It's not the Varus. For once, it's the Zoe. The quadra kill out of nowhere for BDD.
The two of them are the reason why they lost all that health as well. The big piercing arrow from Prey, but also just everything that Zoe has to throw at the enemies as well. We're able to just chunk through that front line, which outside of the Galio is not super tanky. We have finally Trundle beginning to get some of those tanky items. So now with a needlessly large rod, probably looking at a death cap third, especially with how fast he's accelerating. BDD level 15 now.
Damn.
It's a scary Zoe, guys.
It's a level 7 Braum. And a level 50. Wait, is he? Yeah, still
No,
a
it's
15.
9. It's 9. It's level
Okay,
9.
it looks like level 7 on my monitor.
I was going to say, that's insane. It's still pretty insane. 15 to 9.
This is, yep, BDD is real big. So that's a big problem. He can one-shot the Ezreal very easily.
Yeah. Now, with the composition, you were talking about this before, the composition that Hanwha does have, they have a way to jump onto BDD, but you need to start the fight in your favor. You can't have your entire team be poked out first and then just have her stopwatch the engage anyway.
Stopwatch is the pressing concern, though. Still available onto BDD. Prey doesn't have one, but issue is, Valdez, you mess up that engage, and you just lose the fight to BDD, skipping around after you use all your summoners on the back end. So right now, it's going to have to be creative stuff from the side of Hanwha Life. Item purchase for Lava turns his stopwatch into Azonia's. Art of Ages was built very late this game, around 17.5, 18 minutes, so we'll still be stacking up for a while. It's a low damage build from the Galio, which means that Camille and Ezreal are going to have to be the big carries here. Wait to see if that's possible. Lindarang's found good success in the side lane, but there's a turret, so for once, the chase down kill is not possible.
Well, Lindarang still is going for the kill. He's got Galio behind him, but the Sterix is doing so much to keep him alive. And one shot in the face, will he burn down? It doesn't look like he will. Rascal nearly goes down too. Chains of Corruption, the true shot barrage will go wide. And oh boy, this game is getting really, really scared.
Dancing shoes from Rascal to not die, but it's definitely a telegraphed all-in that's super risky from Lindarang. Almost burns down to Corrupting Potion at 24 minutes. Not often you'll see that pick up a kill. Trying to punish because BDD was topside, but BDD's going to get this turret, get some more standing gold. The side of Kingzone, they're up about 3,500. And if you keep picking very chance engages like that and not executing on them, BDD will make you pay, whether it's on the map or in a 5v5.
Yeah. You guys might not have been impressed by his rise in game number 1, but his Zoe in game number 2 reminds you where BDD is at.
So risky when the Sterix is finished to make this play. Lindarang randomly almost dies to turret shot and Corrupting Potion. Gets away, they can't kill Rascal. Sangyoon shooting out his ultimate there, won't be able to hit him. In the side lane, BDD's actually pushing up, they're trying to kill Lava.
Again, not really gonna work. He's getting tanky, has his Zonias. Will Lindarang continue to try to 1v1?
No, but he will try to bring in the Trundle to make the job possible. Doesn't even have a second item yet, does Lindarang.
He was spotted.
Exactly, so Kingzone's on the Baron.
Thinking about it, they do turn off as someone comes up the river.
It's in a lot of games where teams have been confident to make the piggyback kills, where you send 2 members bot lane and try to take down a kill. Even the Smite, for example, with SeongHwan. That works when there's awesome dudes in the bot lane like Swain. When it's a Varus with Rageblade by the Ruin King, have to show a lot more respect. Baron threat much higher because we get double marksman games so much more these days.
Yeah, looks like they got the Scuttle Crab too, so Kingzone, a lot of pressure and vision up in the top side. Not all of it cleaned out by Hanwha Life. Still the one control ward here in mid. Looks like someone will take it out.
Mid lane out of turret. Very, very difficult for Hanwha Life to find. Their vision is super shallow. Nice deep ward spotting the Raptors and also the enemy blue buff here from Kingzone. Looking for a chance pick, and the Zoe certainly will be able to excel in that scenario. In this scenario, where Rascal has been made honest, but still has only died a single time, he's pretty close to Guardian Angel. As a third item here, could be Storm Razor as well. Try to go for those big crit barrels. Still very, very comfortable in the side lane as Rascal. And it feels like if Hanwha Life mess up the next engage, they may just be too far behind to ever pull off another convincing one.
They need the perfect engage. Gorilla was good on the Hextech Ultimatum the time when it was 4-on-1. He was able to pick up the kill with the Zone Ignite, but can he make it happen with the help of Peanut's Cask to actually push those very threatening targets away from their squishies? That's going to be the key here for the more supporting roles of Kingzone.
And remember that the setup there was good because Peanut face-checked Galio in melee range and got taunted. So very hard to recreate the team fight that Hanwha Life won. Looking at the gold advantages here. The scale's pretty small. You see 2,000 at the top, 4,000 at the bottom, but the kills have got doubled the lead here for Kingzone DragonX, and we're not talking about the lead for BDD over Lava, because it feels like you might as well be doubling the Galio at this point.
Galio's still trying to find a meaning in his life in this game.
It could be another Flame Horizon. Could be back-to-back Flame Horizons, and BD wasn't able to pilot the first one to relevance. This one, with his sweet hat at 28 minutes, Deathcap Zoe is plenty relevant at 28 minutes in the game.
Probably looking at Void Staff next. Will help burn through some of the magic resist they have. Double Null Magic Mantle by Braum. He knows what's up. Not really concerned about Rascal here. He's thinking about the Zoe.
Lindarang is losing the lane trades to Rascal, even though he went for the Ravenous Hydra. As you can see, about 300 gold behind. It is a huge lead in mid lane. Better part of 3,500 gold is the lead. Lava feeling pretty anemic. Needs to get that combo play. They just need to find a way to pop Zoe or Varus, and I see 2 stopwatches, so the popping right now seems unlikely.
Yeah, SeongHwan had a good early game once again, but now the Trundle, you know, not much more than a pillar and a body. Gonna try to get in there and block a bunch of paddle stars, open up the team fight so that Sangyoon can do the damage from the back. We always mention, you know, the Varus Zoe, super scary, but Sangyoon just quietly farming up himself. Haven't really talked too much about him.
Feels that he's going to be zoned by damage in many of these fights. Not going to be the big problem there. Lindarang, in the meantime, does get some more standing goals. Second turret of the game for Hanwha Life. Game 1 was pretty competitive in turrets. Seeing this second game be competitive as well. Hanwha Life not being blown out by any means.
Yeah, there is a Zoe in this game. That's one of the walls you can abuse. I definitely call it abuse. That thin one at the blue buff, though. Zoe's gonna be caught here. There's the big taunt. Hasn't used his stopwatch yet, but the teleport coming in. VDD still alive here, and in the front line, Lava is just gonna be popped by the side of that damage. Prey and VDD come together, they survive, and they do the damage they needed to do.
And Lindarang tries to walk down, so never hits the fight at all. Ends up being 5 members, unleashing damage into an Aftershock Galio, and eventually he is going to go down. Kingzone roll down, they'll just take a free Drake. Not going to be going for a bigger objective at this moment, but the momentum is all with Kingzone DragonX. Kingzone fans, SKT fans, piggybacking on the Kingzone fans. Even the Afrika Freaks fans all want to see Hanwha Life lose today. Hanwha Life 1 game up, but this second game is advantage Kingzone.
See BDD getting real confident. You think, oh, he's caught. As you mentioned, no Camille. Lava gets caught out here.
He's just fighting 5v1. There's nothing he can do. The Camille's not diving with him. No dive, buddy. No real time to ult out there. Probably would have died during the cast animation. Seemed like a mistake from Kingzone is needed.
This time Lindarang's in there. He's gonna knock up 3 members. They get on top of the Varus and Prey just disappears. That's the engage they wanted. Good cast to knock him away, but he is still dead. And that means that Peanut may go down too. They really want that smite and they're gonna get it. Sangyoon able to get on in there. Gorilla with his ultimate available. And oh boy, big engage on the backside. BDD still alive, but it's not enough. That's gonna be the kill. And a 5 against 3, or rather 2 now, in favor of Hanwha Life.
I called for a mistake. You see a mistake instantly as they walk up, and Lindarang says, I'm holding this guy and we're gonna kill him. Prey goes down, the rest of Kingzone's important members go down. BDD's still alive, and BDD and Rascal's poke does mean that this Baron is super duper risky.
They're really scared about BDD.
They should be.
He's looking for it. Nice dodge that time around. Double knockup by Baron, actually. And the Cannon Barrage, look at the damage it's doing. Lava is able to zone out BDD, but Rascal going 1v4 is going to eat the damage just once to delay the Baron. Is it going to be enough? The TP is coming in. They're going to kill Rascal here, but everybody's so low. I think they may have to just back off of this one. Hanwha Life is just way too low, so Rascal, he gives his life, the martyr here, just to save the Baron.
And that means the gold lead is almost nil, Valdez. 1,000 gold here between the two teams. 4 kills delayed go the way of Hanwha Life. Gonna watch the replay. Gorilla walks up, thinks they can ward. They notice Gorilla, but Lindarang just says, this is our time. Guess what? Galio and Camille mid-game is pretty damn strong. Prey has flash, but there's no frame to flash there. He's dead whatever he does. Peanut falls so low, but Sangyoon says, I will get my man. They do. They get the Alistar as well. From the end of this, they get Guardian Angel and the Rascal kill. Crucially, they don't get the Baron. For once, there's no front line for the Zoe to do damage behind, so she can't clean up like she did the last two fights.
The funny thing in that last fight was I think the Iceborne Gauntlet killed Peanut. But you talk about builds for the Ezreal, this is one very edge case where the Iceborne Gauntlet actually picks up the smite and open up that possibility to go for the Baron by taking away the smite from Peanut. Gangplank did 0 damage. I mean, he ran into the fight and was attacking people, so I don't think that's true.
The fight, of course, is only the time we saw in the replay, not including the later portion. Again, very hard to know who to whack the finger at from the side of Kingzone, given that Prey got E-flashed on by the Camille. This ended up being, I guess, Prey and Gorilla too far up on the map when the Gangplank wasn't around is really the kind of critical thing there. Wasn't a mechanical error by Kingzone, just a decision-making mistake and well punished by Hanwha Life, so I appreciate the fact that they were so committal after being so far behind, after watching the game unfold around him. Lindarang makes the big play, now hits the side wave, level 18 Sterix finish. Still don't think he can actually kill the GP, especially under a turret, but he's certainly a fearsome Camille nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, he has the teleport advantage right now. Doesn't have his flash, so it's not going to be flashing on in to Prey just yet, but you mentioned taking the 2 GAs away from both Prey and Rascal. If they can make another engage happen, I think it would be heavily favored towards Hanwha Life, but again, it's hard. They're very slippery. Kingzone's going to play a lot more passively after that last fight as they wait for their cooldowns to get up. SeongHwan with the nice dodge there, but yeah, I mean, Hanwha, they just really, again, need to find that good engage, and I'm not sure that Kingzone's going to make the same mistake.
It's so hard for Kingzone to play around Baron against all the engage on the side of Hanwha Life. If they got Baron with Zoe Varus, it's just lights out, GG. We take through the base and just flash away from any ults. But Hanwha Life with Baron and around Baron is so powerful. The Kingzone is showing a lot of respect, which is due at this point in the game. Items starting to roll in, like the Ludens onto the Galio, to give him some threat. This turret has eluded Hanwha Life for 35 minutes. Peanut confused, but shouldn't die.
Chains of Corruption go wide, too. They've been really good about dodging all of Zoe's abilities and the Chains of Corruption. Just a little shout out to Hanwha Life. It seems like they got their dancing shoes on tonight. It's really important because certainly the just dodge it meme comes into effect against Zoe.
And let's talk about what fans want to see, which is Kingzone getting value out of BDD. You need control wards and to make the enemy come to you. Kingzone haven't been able to do that. Hanwha Life just say, hey, we're starting Baron because their Baron turn is about as obnoxious as it can be. Camille looking for the teleport. There's one right next to Prey and one above Peanut.
Super good teleport wards. I guess that's part of the reason they don't want to go onto the Baron. Someone eating a lot of damage, though, before the fight even starts, and GA just comes up onto Prey. Kind of awkward timing here, thinking about restarting the Baron, but that's not really going to work here. They're going to continue it, though.
They're still waiting for this teleport play. That's what they're really setting up for.
Okay, here it comes. Trying to get the pillar on in. They're trying to dodge forward, actually, and fight this one. Getting into the back line. He gets on top of Prey, and they are going to get the triple knockup, but Prey is going to be able to stopwatch it. Rascal in the back line trying to get out to Sangyoon, and VDD still alive in the front line. Lava and Lindarang both extremely low. Rascal here is going to get on top of Lava and take him out. So far, looks like a 1-for-1, but Lindarang still on the run. They'll take them out as well, and Kingzone will be able to win this fight in the end.
Pretty big that they win the fight like they do. They get value out of BDD. They could actually fight around their carries, as Stopwatch was there, recently bought by Prey after the Guardian Angel had been used in the last fight. So Prey walks up. They know the enemy smite is around, but it's a 4v3. Kingzone not starting the Baron just yet.
The game at Chicken always coming into effect when it's 3v4. It's kind of hard, especially now that Prey doesn't have his GA. But instead they're thinking about this Elder Drake. Not enough damage from the side of Hanwha to rush a Baron, so a lot less pressure when they do go for this Elder Drake. They should be able to take this one a lot easier.
Getting an Elder Drake for free when you have Varus Zoe is very powerful though. Gangplank gonna enjoy the true damage as well. And guess what? When you pick up an Elder, you can run at Baron and say, hey guys, come to us. And it's very hard for Hanwha Life Esports not to fight. Their comp is built to team fight, and team fighting against a 3-stack Elder is no fun at all.
Good vision control right now from the side of Hanwha. They're looking for Peanut, not quite able to stop the body slam, but they get his cask away at least. Nice little play from Hanwha Life. They're always looking for this. Looks like also the TP from Prey coming through.
Sangyoon failed his E.
Oh boy. Okay, is gonna have to QSS out of that one awkwardly. Does survive though.
Definitely not a good feel as the lifesteal to be able to pick up some health and then return to this. This buff is being worn for another minute 40. So much value to Kingzone. They know that Hanwha Life does not want to fight them during this Elder, and that's why you run at Baron and say, well, you got no choice.
Really good wards from the side of Hanwha Life. You'll notice the one to the left of the Baron that does spot them. And in the meanwhile, Lindarang is going to solo down the outer turret. Nice little pickup there from Hanwha Life. This game is extremely close right now, guys.
Still feels like advantage is there to Kingzone because Hanwha Life can only all in. They don't have any other options, especially if Baron and Elder are being worn by Kingzone. Kingzone control the space around Baron for the first time in a long time. The sweeper doesn't spot the ward till now. Now they know it's there.
TP coming on in here from Galio, who was in the bottom lane trying to push that one in. Will they go for it here? Kingzone all trapped in the pits. In goes Lindarang, trying to go for it. And
Galio got it!
Comes out from Galio.
Are you kidding me?
Knock up. Prey, though, is still alive in the back line. He's going to stopwatch, but down he does go. Peanut extremely low as well. And there you go. Gorilla eats it too. And now Peanut, Rascal, and BDD trying to clean this one up. It's only BDD trying to go 1v3. Is going to kill one. Will miss the kill on a Sangyoon. The Baron, and 3 kills goes to Hanwha.
A tick of the damn Q, not even the initial burst, kills the Baron. Insane stuff. Gorilla doesn't have Unsealed Spellbook, so couldn't go to Smite. I didn't see if and when the Smite was used, but that was not the way I thought the Baron would go. I don't think they end the game here, but damned if they don't break the base.
They have a decent cannon minion wave pushing in here, so they will get the inhibitor in the top lane. Sangyoon is getting pretty scary. He's 9-1-3. He has a lot of gold on his side and still the Guardian Angel, and nobody from Kingzone can get on top of him. But again, they all tried to file into the Baron and a 4-man knock up the steal. If they got the Baron and 2 people get away, I think Kingzone are not in a bad spot, but the tick of the Galio Q, that's really unfortunate for Kingzone.
Let's watch the replay and understand how this happens. There may be Smite onto the support. I'm not 100% clear here. When is the Smite used and by who is the big question. It seems like there just wasn't any real usage of it there. Ended up just being a tick of the Q, and they go down. Smite on cooldown. So
yeah.
Peanut used it.
Peanut smited. SeongHwan wasn't in range, and he must have just smited early.
Yeah.
And then the tick of the Galio Q was 302. I saw the number come up, so
yeah,
it's
302 was
a decent
not
chunk, right?
Still, it's not exactly going to be a huge amount of burst, so that was just a bad calculation. It was a really frenzied fight, even trying to watch for the smite. It got confused there, but you got to admit, it isn't really fun to be a jungle when in most games there's going to be 2 smites on the enemy team, as Unsealed Spellbook brings that opportunity. So it's definitely the hardest time to be a smite, but if you're going to fully commit to the Baron, if you're going to do enough damage that it's within threat range, you only have yourself to blame as a team. Now Hanwha Life, out of nowhere, have a Baron that they should never have picked up.
Yeah. Especially if you're going to commit to it so hard that the entire Wombo combo comp can catch 4 of you in the Baron pit. Didn't really work out. Lindarang is soloing down the mid turret, actually has Lava with him, so a 0-2-3 split here. Kind of unconventional, but it's getting the job done. Prey's
build so far has been Stopwatch into Guardian Angel and another Stopwatch into Zhonya's now, in order to try to survive through these fights. Knows the Galio Camille makes his life hell. They're going to always be ulting onto him. They've even been initiating onto him through Guardian Angel, because if they control space, Zoe can't do damage either, as she's in melee range of her opposition. So Prey has had to go for a very low damage Varus build. At this point, maybe you should just have gone AP Varus and been able to find the Zhonya's more naturally. This doesn't really do damage of either type at this point.
You see here that Hanwha Life don't necessarily have the best siege, so it's been a slow going push. They're also going up against Zoe. So they finally take out an inner turret on the bottom side, but outside of that, just 2 inner turrets. No other inhibitors so far, and the Baron buff has subsided.
So Hanwha Life, 1 inhibitor down, means more farm for Gangplank, but he's got 6 items, so not as relevant there. Zoe, as we know, is just as strong as can be, but Hanwha Life's combo has worked for them. The Ezreal has had no threat on him outside of a cleanup kill in the first fight by BDD, I believe, and also has 6 items. And basically, Hanwha Life is saying all in on Prey. He's the easiest person to hold in place. And then the Ezreal will never have threat on him unless we've lost the team fight already. So far, that has been diagnosed as correct. Sangyoon rolls up. He is a very powerful Ezreal at this point in the game. And they're just not finding enough damage out of Rascal and Prey to actually take down the frontline members of Hanwha Life.
Yeah, the only fight I really saw the Gangplank doing much was when he was able to zone out the rest of the members in the back. He wasn't even necessarily getting the kills. He was just doing a decent amount of damage while being a nuisance in the back line. So definitely the wombo combo combination of getting into the much more squishier targets has been more effective in terms of compositions and how they do their damage.
Flashes are up on the side of Hanwha Life, so waiting for their moment here. Might have to be around next Baron. Elder spawns as well. Remember, that will be a double stack Elder for Kingzone with 3 buffs. So that would be just an insane amount of true damage. And also the 16% AD and AP that the double stack would provide. So that is something that Hanwha Life have to be very aware of. And there's 45 seconds between Elder and Baron spawning on the map.
Gangplank quite good at stopping the push-in of the super minion in the top wave. We have only 24 seconds until the inhibitor respawns, so
it's good timing for Kingzone. Means they're going to be more in position for this Elder.
It's really good. I mean, the game is kind of just going to even out. Nearly everybody's going to be at full items here outside of the supports. We'll just move into, once again, 5v5. Who can outplay the other team? Who's going to get the better engage?
And the play-by-play is going to be tricky, Valdez, unless Zoe one-shots someone, because there is Quadra Guardian Angel, there's Zhonya's on both mid laners. This is a really, really technical. The first person should die extremely slowly. There's Gargo's Stone Plate on both junglers. People dying will take a long time, and Lindarang is going for the back door. Okay, this is Hanwha Life saying, let's get them to make a mistake. Let's increase the tempo of the game.
I like the play. You got to bring Rascal over as well. It just makes it hard for the Camille to get the perfect engage. Needs to get a backline teleport ward into getting on top of Prey, who's, by the way, up in the top lane.
Which is the last place you would expect him, so might actually surprise Lindarang if he ever looks for a hookshot trade. Enemy team saying, wait, where's the Varus? Why is he not poking us? They're starting to put it together. Let's see if Lindarang gets caught. He does have a ward over in case Prey puts his nose out of the base.
Who knows, may have even seen him. He was poking a little bit there. Gangplank went back for just a second, might mean a little bit more inhibitor damage. Looking for the play, though, towards the Elder Drake, trying to get on top of Peanut. Would be a fantastic target here.
Prey's back top lane, by the way.
Seems like, I think they saw him. I think they spotted him here.
They did.
Yeah. TP's still onto Rascal and Prey.
They need to kill Peanut, because if he gets a lucky smite here, could just end the game. Sangyoon.
Cannon Barrage 2. And Locket committed to here by Key. It's getting pretty low. Is the steal going to come in? Lindarang in an awkward spot, but trying to go for the flank here onto Prey. Are they going to catch him here? It looks like they might be able to. There's the hashtag ultimatum. Prey in a lot of trouble. There's the stopwatch. Will the Elder go over? It goes to Kingzone, and that's going to be it for the Camille. Goes down. So does the Galio. And Lindarang going to get low. It looks like Kingzone have done it. They've won the fight, and they take the Elder Drake. Can they end the game is the question.
That double buff Elder is such a game ender. 4 minutes 40 is the duration. It was made to end games. Jin versus SKT. Be damned, it will never happen again in a world of double elders. They have so much time to work out what they want to do. They rush over to the Baron. Should be uncontested for Kingzone.
Easy as you'd like. You're not going to come in here 3v5, but oh boy, we're going to have to get the replay and see who got the smite off that time. It was Peanut, obviously, but how did it get that low? And was SeongHwan in range and all that good stuff? Because Kingzone look untouchable now.
Very hard not for this to be a fight because the Drake gets down to 2,000 and they go for the Camille ult into Galio ult. AoE damage is going to get it down into smite range. Watching the replay here, Lindarang off your screen had teleported in as well. When it's this low and Sangyoon needs to poke it to get lifesteal back because it's already so low, they fly in. Watching the damage onto the Elder. It's actually Sangyoon that tries to finish it off. The smite is off, is claimed by Peanut. And then it's just too much damage for the front line to bear. Hanwha Life lose the Baron as well. And now it feels like Kingzone are rolling in and wanting to force that game number 6 of the night.
Looks very, very likely at this point. Still 3.5 minutes of Elder Drake left available, and it's the strong one. Take a look at the amount of damage in that fight. The barrels from Rascal on top of Lava and Lindarang were just too much for them to handle.
Kingzone walk in, poke from everyone relevant. Even just the Runic Echo popping onto SeongHwan is true damage on top of him. Camille and Galio on the side, so it's starting to dive.
Yeah, trying to get on top of Sangyoon and Key here. It's not going to happen. They're going to stamp them for now. The backs are coming in, but it might be a little bit too late. The cannon barrage from the front line. There it is, Gorilla. He's going to try to end the game here. Lindarang going to go into the back line, but Rascal has enough damage. And down will go the turrets. Lava here is just going to disappear. And Sangyoon alone will not be able to stop this push. Kingzone, they're going to be bringing us to game number 3, and well-deserved as well. They want another kill first. They'll pick that up, and very fitting that BDD gets it too. We're going to game number 3, guys, after 50-minute game.
50-minute 22, Kingzone DragonX get over the line. Not sure what the Hanwha Life were thinking, try to double split push against Baron and the double stack Elder Drake. Turret dies for Alistair are his bread and butter. Kingzone with Rascal do pick up the victory. It was a shaky time in the early game from Rascal, but BDD held down the fort. He was so big in the early to mid game. That quadra kill in that unorganized skirmish in the bot side really allowed him to be 3,000 gold ahead of the Galio. The Camille and Galio was bowled by Hanwha Life in the second round, and in the second half of this game, it honestly came up trumps. The Varus was a super low damage build, trying not to be squished by the Goomba Stomp again and again. When the smites were important, they went one way and the other. Double stack Elder is almost always going to be a game winner. It goes to Kingzone, and that means we go to game number 3.
Well, we expected